My dear child, do not worry about me. Water. I recover quickly with the song of our birds, the love of our trees, with movement, moments of rest, and the prayers moving around our earth. I regain balance with your heartfelt tears, your remembered songs added to the ones of so many now. Do not focus your energy on saving me. Something way more profound is taking place right now. Listen and observe. All of us, soil, water, plants, air, animals, and all ancestors are calling you humans to us so we can save your species. We know and have known for a while that you do not have much time left if you do not wake up to your birthright belonging to Earth and come home soon, real soon. We keep dying. We keep giving away our lives to shake you up from a deep and very long amnesia. Once you can allow the truth and quality of such love to permeate through your traumatized being and desolate soul, you will wake up from a lifetime of amnesia to your immense grief and capacity for love. When you create containers of sacred beauty that opens your heart to what love truly is, then you will realize with a massive sob that you were loved all along, always have, and forever by all of us who you think you are saving. You have 5 years as a species to wake up, mature, and remember in your bones that you belong to life.
Oh, Ayla, thank you so much for reading it with so much river in you somehow. It was so animated and I heard it in a different way. So here I am with Ayla Schafer. And actually, I was thinking about when did I meet you, and the thread of connection comes back a long way, and to outside Oneness. And I remember even sharing your room when you were away to some beautiful lands. So we come a long way, Ayla, now. And I've seen Ayla blooming and maturing and growing into this incredible song writer and singer. And Ayla, I'd love to hear how the message touched your life.
Mm.
And welcome.
I don't remember specifically the first time that I received received the message in that sense of like heard the message. I have a feeling I heard it a while before I received it, actually, in that sense. I have a feeling that's what's happened. But it was when I was in Brazil. Maybe that was 2 years ago. This is when I remember it really touching me. Again, I don't remember what the specific way that I heard it or I read it or something, but I do remember this feeling in me of just kind of like, you know, those moments where like time kind of stops and like, I don't know, it's a bit like the curtain kind of goes like, just suddenly opens, like, and I do remember kind of going over it a couple of times of like, what does that even mean? You know, like it's touching me in a way. It's doing something in my heart and my soul that's really strong. However it is that we even can know that, you know, like how is it that what is the way that the soul can speak from that depth? It's just something unexplainable, actually, I guess, isn't it? Beyond the mind. And you know what I find amazing about this, the message is it's, I feel like it would be it's a lifetime contemplation or many lifetimes contemplation to really understand that. because probably we can never, this will never go, okay, I've got it now. Like, now I understand the message, now I understand what that means. It's the love that's, it's beyond, it's even beyond our humanness, beyond our mind, beyond our human heart. It's the kind of the heart of creation that we have inside of us, that we are. And yeah, the message, I just knew when I was touched by it in these moments in that particular time, it was this feeling of, I have to do something. I can't just be touched by a message like this and then just kind of walk onwards and go, that was a nice, that was a nice book I read, that was a nice quote I read. Like, this happens, we see something beautiful, and it was like, I'm being asked, something is being asked of me, because it is that message. I see it as being asked of all of us, absolutely. And that will be, it's very unique for each one of us, depending on what we're here to do. And it was just like a song. This is what I know how to do in my life somehow, not even that it's something I know how to do. And then I reached out to you, and it just really flowed. It really kept, the song just really arrived. I didn't know, maybe it's not going to work, maybe it's, maybe it'll be not a very good song, or the mind comes in. So
that song has touched many people now, hasn't it? What I love about the message and how you received it is that it was like a being, when you talk about how you received it, what I could see was a seed was planted in you, in the soil, the soul and the soil, and then it just grew into another plant, another being. And it seems like this message is doing that to people's, and to you, this message was a seed that initiated your soul somehow. Because your soul, to me, is a singer. For me, is and the song, the first time you sent it to me, first I listened on the loop, I don't know, 50 times, sobbing, 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 for also realizing someone else was holding it with me. That was really important to me as well. That you received it so well, or so, I don't know, well, but so powerfully, that it brought a creation out of you. It was so alive to hear the song. It's like, oh, this message again is alive. It brought a new life and a new form and a new sound. And the sentence that I heard even more today because you read it, of the many songs. The many, remember your songs, added to the words of so many emails. And I could, of course, this weaving of songs. So I guess I'm filled with gratitude for you and your soul and heart and artistry, for giving it another life, another landscape, another mountain, another river. I don't know what the language in that field always seems to dissect things. So, but I think yeah. Oh, thank you. So, I was wondering. So that was given to me by the River Dart, who you know, that beautiful River Dart in Staverton, on a very cold day, 1st of December, 2016. And I wonder if we could ask the salmon to go back to that time with us, to your life. I know that my life has changed radically since the message. And I wonder if we could go back to the end of 2016, and I'm going to give you a little framing in the world as well. It was the time of Standing Rock. It was the same winter of Standing Rock. It was the time the waters were calling people, and we thought we were saving the waters and saving the rivers. And then I received this message which tells us, no, 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 no. This like heroic, I want to say arrogance, is exhausting you. Don't do that. We are calling you. So the river calls us to her. And then, I don't know if you remember, 400 tribes gathered at Standing Rock. They hadn't met for hundreds of years. And I'm like, oh, the river called them, whatever. But I wonder, in your river of life, if you could talk a little bit about what happened for you in the last 5 years, because we're at the end of the 5 years. That's why these conversations are happening the last 30 days. So yeah, just to give space to the river of your life, the last 5 years.
I remember being, I was in Colombia during the time of Standing Rock, and because I was closer than if I'd been here in Europe, I remember being very compelled to go there and to bring my presence to what was happening there. And but in this moment of my life was when I met Josh, my partner. It must have been so difficult for me to remember. It must have been a few months earlier. And no, it must have been afterwards, because Standing Rock, it went on for so long, didn't it? It must have been afterwards, in the spring. That was in Colombia. Anyway, around this time, yeah, it was a definitely pivotal moment of my life, meeting my life partner. And I had just left England. I just launched my album and had all these plans of ambition, and I'm going to go on tour, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to build this, and get here and get here, it's kind of like, like that's what I was supposed to do, make something and be somebody, blah, blah, blah. And I went to Colombia to go and do a vision quest. And I gave myself 2 weeks, and then I had all my flights booked to, I don't know where it was, South Africa and Bali, and everything paid for. And I went on the mountain, and I really offered my life to the earth. It was really my big prayer was just like, in those 4 days of all that happens, in that solitude and that quietness, no food, no water, no movement, it was just like I was wrapped up in the embrace of life, of the trees, of the birds, of the earth, the sky, and nothing else felt as important anymore. And all those dreams and all that ambition and ideas, and was just like, it just fell away. And I came down from the mountain, and I cancelled everything. Lost loads of money on flights, and but it was easy. Actually, it was easy for me to do, because I'd said really clearly this prayer. I remember it like, not only like guide my life, and like I'm offering myself to you, and show me how I can serve you, but like help me have the courage to follow through with what I hear you communicating to me. Because the one thing, isn't it, is hearing it. Like, oh wow, I just received that message, and then like, oh, actually that's really inconvenient, because I don't want to lose money, and I don't want to like make all those changes, and my mind is still attached to those ideas. But it was very easy for me to do. I let go of a lot in that moment. And yeah, since then, I mean, many things have happened. I've had a baby, had a child, and somehow, because I'm thinking about the song a lot as I'm sharing this, I don't necessarily want to go into just like my whole life story of the past 5 years.
No.
but in this sense of this kind of wake up of responsibility, that I feel is one of the aspects that the message of the water is asking of us. I can see in these past 5 years this a maturing in me to even be ready to understand that, or ready to step into that. And I guess that moment that I just was able to abandon very easily the kind of motivations of my ego and my mind and those things that were important, and I realized in that moment, like, nothing else is more important to me than just serving this beloved Mother Earth and creation. Like, I just give you my life, I'm here for you. And obviously I was in a very, these particularly clear states. Like, I wouldn't say I've maintained that state of kind of egolessness and grace. Like this, it comes back, but the focus of my life, it's not that it changed, it's been more refined since then, to even be to a point that I can receive this message of the water in the way that I can, and feel how important it is to me to take that responsibility. And writing the song is one small part of what I felt was being asked from me, and it's much more than a song. It's not just enough to write a nice song, it's also how to embody that in my own being and in my own life and in my own decisions and in my heart and my soul, how to open that space.
Thank you. I was going to ask you, what is your prayer for that song? And for people who are listening, if you haven't heard the song, really, really, well, I see that song personally. I see that song as a prayer and as medicine. It's truly, it does something to the heart to sing it and to hear it, to sing along. And I just wondered, what is your prayer for the song? And I know you're recording a new, kind of more mature, perhaps matured version, with more sounds with you, accompanying you, and it's going to come out soon, which is very exciting. What well, maybe you are already having a vision about the song, but what is your prayer for the song? I was looking at there's almost 100,000 people that have liked it on your YouTube, and I've read the comments to see, and I could see that every comment was the diversity of how people receive this message, whether it's through your song or through reading it in all languages. Now it's been translated in many languages, and I could read all the comments. Yeah, it's like drops. It's just, yeah, it's absolutely magical. But as the birth mama of that song, something.
Yeah, the little bit of the message about let me just, so that I say it right, about you will realize with a massive sob that you were loved all along, always have, and forever, by all of us who you think you are saving. This, I see that the medicine of this is almost one of the first, like the grief that it moves. And I also read some of the comments after you said, have you read them? And many people saying like, oh, like it's like there's a dam in the river in the heart or something, and this message and the song, because music is so emotive, it helps to kind of unlodge something that's stuck there, that what first flows is this sob, the grief. the really, really deep feeling and all that comes with that. So the medicine that it is to allow ourselves to access our grief. I mean, you know this very well. And
I often play it in the grief circles I have played it hundreds of times. It touches people beyond where it is true medicine. It's it's uh, it's enchanting, and as you say, it breaks the dams of our river. It gives us more vitality. It reconnects us to life. I would like to touch on something because I have been accused to be prophetic with this message. I've had a few
I
things.
really
It's not been all very smooth. And I've been thinking about it, prophetic, and I look at the etymology because I'm a nerd in etymology, so I always look at the roots of words and going, well, yeah, I don't mind. But because, of course, it gives us a linear time. Okay, she gives us 5 years. So hundreds of times I went back to the River Dart when I lived there and asked her, I said, look, support me in this. I am sharing the message as you requested, as you instructed me. It's been extremely scary at first. I had to grieve and relive a trauma of witch hunts, and when the women and men could hear the other beings and shared it. So it took me 4 months to have the courage. It was a really strong, maturing, ripening journey for me. And so I went back to the river and asked her, what do you mean 5 years? What does it actually mean? We're not going to all die in 5 years. So the 1st of December this year, we're not all going to die. It's not. So she kept saying, look, until then, you have time to prepare somehow. You can choose where you want to live. You can choose who you want to live with. You might not have time after that to skill up or do another, training. So that was one. And then recently, a few weeks ago, because I'm working with the Council of Wellbeing very profoundly, the message was, this message is requiring us, requiring you, human, to die to your separation. It is time. That's it. It's time. This winter is the time. So there is a death. It's a death of orientation and identity and relationships. And I wonder how it resonates with you and your songs, because I, of course, hear other songs of yours. And there is a golden red threads and all these color threads. I wonder how it resonates what I've just said with your artistry and your, you. Wow.
Yeah, the death of separation, that is hopefully ultimately our destiny, isn't it? Like somehow so many spiritual pathways, they speak about this as kind of the human, so we came here into our lives to ultimately realize. Ultimate realization is that oneness. And I can just really see, for me, in my life, and it of course then manifests in my songs. My songs are just a manifestation of what's moving in me, in my ocean. There is this thread of my I don't know if it's like longing, like, yeah, it's a bit like the Sufi path, the longing for oneness is what draws us to that light, like the moth being drawn to the light. And I see that, I feel so much the sense of separation. And I just look outside the window and I just go, I'm separate because I'm in a house. I'm already separated. Like the whole kind of structure of the way that we live our lives is built upon separation from each other, from ourselves, from nature, from spirit. And I just feel like I've always known that somehow. It's always been alive in me, like a little kind of like
Mm.
something's not quite right here, and it distresses me a lot. And a lot of the time, I just mostly struggling with that. Like, not, I don't know how to die to this separation. Absolutely, like how to really fully, and not just have moments of oneness when I can go and be with nature, and moments of oneness in a ceremony or sitting by the fire, whatever. And the thing is, my music ultimately is one of the most powerful tools for myself to kind of practice. I don't want to say practice or experience or be in. It's not even about practice or experience, it's that being. It's just being, actually, isn't it? In that,
Mm.
in just absolute presence and being, that connection is, it's anyway there. We're anyway not separate. It's not really real.
Mm.
We cannot be separated from life itself, because then we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't exist if we were separated from life itself. So it's that journey of, I see, like, that's the deeper realization of it. Like, it's not just, oh, I need to find a way to live a life where I'm outside more and
Yeah.
spend less time on my screens. Like, yes, all those things also are necessary, but actually seeing in my own life that finding those things that are necessary to do, that I'm able to realize that can never be separated from that source that I am. Like that the song says, that we belong to life. What does that mean? Like, how can we belong to life? And I know it's not an ownership type of belonging, like, this belongs to me, this is mine. It's like
Belong.
we are like a baby. I get kind of a bit like the image of a fetus inside the womb of the mother. Like, somehow, like, that's the sense of belonging I get, belonging to life. Like, I am, I have a physical body, my spirit came into form into this kind of this
Yeah.
thing that's somehow I can call me, but I exist within this great womb. And the sense of belonging is like, I am home here. I belong into this. This is where I belong.
I love the word belong because it has the word longing.
Oh,
Be
longing.
longing.
Be
Longing.
longing.
Yeah, be longing. And be
Be
two
longing.
E's, be
Oh.
longing. Because the longing, you talked about Sufi, and to me, Soul Land is making the world of our longing. And longing is to me the language of soul, and therefore the
Oh.
language of the soul of the earth through us. So when I paint, when I make, when I create, just, I don't sing, I do other. It's like, oh, I'm often, whoa, so excited to see a form of the soul of the earth coming through me. Like, oh, here you are. Oh, yes. Hi. And I gonna swiftly go to the next bit before we close, is that I want to celebrate our collaboration this time round. I'm very moved to tears, actually. So when you've invited me to create an earth art piece for the cover of your. Yeah, I'm a bit baffled about this new world of music because there's no LPs and I'm not sure how you do it. But anyway, what did we say? We're calling it the inclusive polyamorous release of your single will come any days now. We will let you know. If you don't come after this, honestly, Eros is in the room. Please join us. We will let you know what date it is. It's between the 23rd and the 27th of November. We will let you know. I'd love you to spend the last few minutes, if you can, to talk about the maturation of the song, because I could hear when you sent me the last recording and the music, and the other dying to our separation is happening in your song. I could hear other beings, which I didn't hear before. And I wonder what's happening for you, and what's happening in that cocoon of creation right now. Also, there's other musicians. They weren't there before. So it seems to be growing, deepening, and widening to include more. Yes. What would you like to say to that?
Yeah, I feel like we are creating it's like a home for the spirit of the message in its song form, in this song form. You know, maybe there will be more songs that will come. So it's like this particular expression of that spirit. I always have seen recording like this, like making a spirit house. And so therefore the work isn't just like, oh, well, I really love violin, so I'm going to put violin on everything. It's like, what is, and this is really how the producer is working on it. He really works like this. What
Beautiful.
is this song asking? What is the spirit of this song asking for in its home, that like tunes deeply into the essence of the song, that is not just making nice sounds and da 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 da, but it's like it is all supporting and guiding. It's like what is the sounds and the instruments and the musicians that are going to help give air that the wings of this song can fly, a bit like that.
Beautiful.
So it's always such a magical process, and how something starts emerging, you know, this character starts emerging, that's it's different to if it's just me singing alone. So for me it's particularly fascinating because I get a bit bored of hearing just me and my guitar. It's a bit boring. The magic that can come when the instruments really, when they're right, and especially when the musicians who have joined in are there with their heart and their prayer. So one of the main instruments is the kalimba, this little for anyone who doesn't know, this kind of little plinky makes beautiful watery sound, and it's this amazing man, Chandra Lancome, who is such a beautiful being, and he just got it. He just you know, instantly he got the song, and the people working on the song, the producer, the record label, they get the song, they're moved by it, they've cried already to it. They're men, you know, that feels incredibly important because it's a prayer, it's a living prayer. It's not just a song. For me it's never just a song anyway, but these are prayers, and it's very important that it's really taken care of with a lot of love, for sensitivity and belief. All these people who are joining in the song are then standing with it, and standing in their responsibility, because to understand the song, you can't really understand the song without going, okay, I step into my responsibility, or begin at least, begin the baby steps. It gathers, it's like water, isn't it? It's like water, it gathers with it, gathers and then keeps moving, and we go together.
Oh, Ayla, that was so beautiful what you said. Also about creating a home for the spirit of the song. Oh, that totally touched me. My whole body relaxed. I was like, oh, that song is well tended to. And yeah, so we're going to wrap up. And you talk about momentum. As the river message reaches its 5 years, it really is widening and joining the sea. It feels like we're at the mouth of the river. So I long and I pray for this song, your song, our song, and for the image that I created for the song. So there's a collaboration that is beyond you and me, that is just medicine. And of course, the third is a plait, is the river dart. So there's a really beautiful collaboration, tightening, strengthening. Is there any Last words you would like to say about your song coming soon? Is there anything else you feel to say?
Um, I just getting an image actually, which is like the song coming soon. It's like the water flowing, like the message of the water like flowed into me, and then is like moves through my heart, and I get this feeling like I'm doing this, with all the energy and the time and the love that I put into creating this song, that it's like I really offer it through my heart and from my heart with just all my love, all the love that I'm capable of in this moment,
Yes.
because I'm sure there's more. And that's really, I hope that it just goes like this in, into the hearts of those ready to
Thank you.
receive, and like water, it can find its way. It will find its way.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, Ayla.
Yeah, thank you.
So for anyone who's listening, we will put on the YouTube the date of this. I'm going to remember the inclusive polyamorous release of Ayla's song. Oh my God, I'm excited already. And of course, Ayla, I imagine you will also share it on your social media. And I send
Yeah,
you much, much love to
absolutely.
you and your little one and your song and everything else that is precious to you.
Yeah,
Mwah.
thank you.